The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome to another exciting hour for the Power Trading Hour. It's me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. And just one of these days where you just have to scratch your head and think a little bit about what's truly going on out here in the market. And we basically had a down morning. As soon as the chieftains of Wall Street decided that they were going to push the Alibaba IPO out, the market pretty much turned right around. And, of course, up right now when we look at the S&P cash, what are we up? 7 points. 2004.64. Yesterday it looked like we would have a nice continuation down. We got fairly lousy numbers for jobs this morning. They tried to rally the market. It could not. It came back down. Pretty much when they started pumping out the Alibaba IPO, the market started to rally back. Part of that is that they will make a great deal more money on these IPOs than they will letting the market sell off. They can always let it sell off later. They've got to push this paper out. Pushing paper out is the job of the stock market. It's not to make you rich, not to make them look good. It is to push paper out and finance business. And, of course, the way that you do that is give people a bunch of stuff, namely paper, and a promise that one day this company will make some money and hopefully return it to you in the way of dividends. But that's kind of gone by the wayside now. The old idea is that eventually the company will start returning and buying shares back at a higher price. And the bigger fool theory, hopefully there's somebody out there willing to buy your shares. But I digress. Anyway, we are looking at a market that is higher when we look at the NASDAQ. Of course, what do we have on that? I don't have anything. My NASDAQ has gone bluey. Oh, up 10 points. Yeah, what can you say? 1.71 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. And that tells us that we've had our little hiccup here, and they're willing to hold this market and let it go out sideways as long as they need to. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of energy for much higher prices. It just looks like there's a dip buyer every time this market goes back down. And we talked about it, probably a good possibility of them hanging this market out until expiration. It looks like they will try to be launching this somewhere around the 18th. Is that the right date? I haven't seen anything yet, but my guess is that they are talking about kicking the Alibaba IPO out on the 18th or the week after that. Maybe I'll see some more news during the break. But, of course, they have made some changes from what I did see this morning. Instead of raising an initial $30 billion, they're going to try to make it a little bit better. Somewhere around $20 to $22 billion will come out of the market and go into Alibaba paper. Probably not a bad business. The question is, would I ever invest in a company that, or even for a minute, that had questionable books? And the answer is no. I've just seen too many times out of left field. Doesn't matter if it's a minute or an hour. If I'm not sitting right in front of that screen ready to click the mouse and sell a stock like that, I don't want to be in it. And for the most part, it's easier to be in other stocks. Kind of a hard way to make a living, let me make it that way. Made a easier living today, and we'll talk about that as we show progresses. On this day in 2000, a lot of quotes going into the fallout here. We're in the same bull market that got underway in October of 1990, declares Lehman Brothers strategist Jeffrey Applegate. If you don't remember him, he was one of the premier, the market's only going up. There was no way that the market ever go down. He predicted that the NASDAQ will finish the year at 4,600 and the Dow will hit 12,400. Abby Joseph Cohen of Goldman Sachs doesn't follow the NASDAQ, but she forecasts the Dow will finish at 12,600. Doesn't mean the bull market's over. She says it's in a new phase, a very new phase. NASDAQ ends up finishing the year at about 2470, 46% below Applegate's forecast. The Dow closes out at 10,786, nearly 2,000 points short of both gurus' targets. And nothing has changed, and nothing will. The stock market is nothing more than the perceptions of the people that trade in it. And, of course, there's euphoria and despair. I always like listening to that song, I've Seen Fire and I've Seen Rain, about the manic depressiveness of James Taylor. And nowhere does that ever follow as much as the market. But I continue to see people making wild predictions this week. And it doesn't mean that we can't hang out here just a little bit longer to really frustrate the bulls. But it certainly looks to me like where this Alibaba thing has been looking at what may top tick the market for a long time. And that's pretty much it on that note. We got a lot of stocks moving out here nonetheless. We did close out one of the, actually closed out both the trades. I took a volatility trade yesterday in the VIX and got out of it later in the morning when it looked like everything was going to turn against us. So no big money in there, but no harm, no foul. We had been long the JDST in the daily newsletter, and this is what I've been talking about yesterday. We sold this morning, and we should have had continuation in this market, especially in gold. It had been hovering around the unchanged mark all day. It's up 70 cents now at 1267.20. Should have been very easy to blow out the weak hands in gold and gold miners. Of course, the JDST is the 3X junior gold miners. We bought it. I think it was printing around 10.15 when I put out the special to go ahead and buy it. I think it went down to 954, 950 or something after that. But everybody should have been able to get into it from my newsletter. Probably $10.10 or maybe a little better. I know some people that had been adding up, but a nice little move out here in the market. And, for a 2-week hold, 30% plus, not a bad day's work when you can get it. And that's one of them. The volatility index, basically, I think I made 10 or 15 or 20 cents on it. But nothing to write home again. I'm all cash and loving it. I see some opportunities in the market. In fact, there's going to be a big one on the back of the Apple rollout on the 9th. And I think we'll talk more about that in the Tech Insider Hour with Tom O'Brien in the 4 o'clock hour here today, Eastern Time. So we'll be looking at that. But, normally you have a big move with a big day, and it does one of two things. One, it exhausts the move, or two, you get a continuation until you get a real good long-term or at least medium-term move out of it. That we didn't get any continuation moves on on the miners out there tells me that we still have people probably going to be buying this. There is no capitulation. So I'll be looking at maybe coming back to this nice little gap at 1050 where maybe I'll be able to wet my beak one more time. Still think that a lot of these junior gold miners are going out of business. And probably a good bet as long as gold stays down. And probably a better way to play it than $5 and $10 moves, maybe $20 moves in gold, is short the weak, long the strong. If gold was, and I thought gold had made a long-term low, I'd be buying gold, the metal itself. In the meantime, I think I will be picking off the weak gold miners in the GDST. Anyway, that starts a little bit of what's going on for our day. Other things going on, very interested in watching how many of the retail stocks are performing. Of course, the Gap came out with earnings last night, and no one liked them. I haven't been in a Gap in a long time. It's off about 5%. And retail metric consensus downgraded to neutral from buy at Buckingham Research. August same-store sales declined 2%. So still seeing a lot of weakness in the Gap. And we're back into this Gap. And the volume fairly decent out here, 7.7, we could call it 7.8 million shares, going back where this gapped up at 8.8 million shares. We still have 2 hours left to trade, or an hour and 45 minutes to trade for the Gap. So if you are bullish, you would not want to see this volume start to pick up. But one of the few bright spots in clothing retails, especially for young adults and younger, had been doing much better out there. But I have a feeling that the blue mall fungus, I got to come up with some name about it, but I have a feeling a lot of people not going to the mall anymore. It's got to be some kind of like mall Ebola. Maybe I'll come up with something, but a little tough to say. Of course, something you have to watch out for, and I've been warning for on some of these stocks, especially maybe the 3D stocks, is out of the blue you're going to see these secondaries that have been on the shelf start to come out. That's what we saw last night in Michael Kors. It was off about 4 or 5% today, back into long-term support. But they are pricing a secondary offering of almost 12 million shares at $76 a share, and that's right where the stock raced to this morning. And not a lot of volume. You got a high volume low here at 75.13 on August 4th. But remember, from now on, there's going to be a lot more shares to trade in that smaller float for Michael Kors. And one of the great ways that Wall Street makes sure that they can pump out at more an additional stock is these sliver deals where they come public, and 6 months, a year later, they just add a few more shares, come back another year, dump a little bit more on the fire, and always liquidating the holders' original positions. So you always have to wonder about that. And of course, there's a great deal of IPOs out this year, and I'll be looking for those, especially over the last 6 months. We're starting to come into the sweet window where a lot of those stocks will have lockups. We saw what happened with Twitter and their lockup, and I think there's going to be some great short action out here on stocks and the markets if you have patience and are willing to be a sniper and put the shotgun down. I think it's going to be targeted things here for a little while. We'll be back in just a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
As we go in today, biotech's a little weak out here. And one of the reasons is some of the drugs, Solivida, Sovaldi. They always give these drugs funny names. Anyway, it looks like a generic drug maker is going to start pumping this out in third world countries where a lot of the laws don't apply for drugs. And that's starting to make Gilead and some of these others like Biodec. You got volume out here. You're back to support, but this thing gapped up on BIIB with fairly decent volume, 4.1 million shares. You got 1.4 million today as you come back into that gap. So, could be worse, but tough to tell. Let's look at Gilead to see on this one. Yeah, I mean, this one recovered a great deal of its plop down this morning. And the one thing you do have on this one is it went down and touched its gap, but in an anatomically correct place, apparently, because it bounced right back up, and that was it. So it was a short-lived pullback, I guess is what we could say. And we'll look at it. Okay. So anyway, we're looking at those two. Let's see what else is out here. We looked at cores. We looked at GPS. British Petroleum bouncing a little bit. If I can type correctly. BP. GP. It had a hard day yesterday on losing the court case. They're going to have to pay up some huge bucks. This only came back to this monstrous gap up that is acting like support. So a lot of these, of course, the volume was huge yesterday. but that these gaps are starting to act like support at least. This gapped up on November 29th of 2013, and you had 20.5 million shares. Of course, yesterday you have 54 million shares, so you did get back in that gap with a whole lot more volume, which means that you are going to probably see that tested yet again. But at the same time, this area has been a gap, a long-term gap, and when you actually look back, this $45 level had a gap down on February 4th of 2013. And that was like 7 million shares. But that $45 level seems to be the key level in it. And not much of a bounce out here today. But my guess is you're going to see that as fairly decent support. You need a bounce and maybe one more or a couple more moves down to crack that if you're looking for lower prices. But certainly energy is to the downside on that one. And we'll keep a little more light on it. ING was up earlier today, had an upgrade, but just in a bigger trading range from about 1480 back down to a 1270, 1280, and doesn't look anything like a problem other than a higher volume low on August 5th at 1276, which would probably put back out a fairly decent range in this thing from 1480 back down to that 1270, 1280 levels. So keep an eye on that. And course, variant, VRNT, up about 7% today, or at its high. Variant Systems, for those that don't know it, I'm going to pop up the thing, provides actionable intelligence solutions and value-added services worldwide. It went enterprise intelligence solutions, management offers, workforce optimization solutions. Boy, these guys they went into a grab bag of buzzwords and threw it all over this piece of paper that is their business summary. Qualifying, monitoring, full-time and compliance recording, voice biometrics, fraud detection, voice of the customer analytics, workforce management, desktop processing analytics. In fact, apparently if they don't do it, you don't need it, including agent desktop, case management, email. This could go on for a week. I don't know what these guys do. They do so much that I can't tell. But going up against a previous high, and that high is $53.19, 2.2 million shares, June 5th. Of course, into it today on 1.4 million shares. I am at home at the moment. I will be in at 4 o'clock hour for the Tom O'Brien Show. In the meantime, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. If you'd like me to look at your stock, give me a call or email me at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock in option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And, of course, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. In the meantime, we're going to look at Tesla. Tesla went through 265. I was looking for it to hit 285. It certainly went through that, spiked through it. A little bit of pullback today. And, of course, part of that is being discussed as the CEO, who probably should never talk about a stock price, but saying that investors often get carried away with the electric car company's stock price, and thought it was a little high. Well, it's a little lower now, but it is one of those stocks that still has a 30% short interest, and I would be all over this. It's given every sign. My guess, though, is that it has probably one more little pump out here. They're not going to let these shorts out of the market easily. I think probably if they had an opportunity today, it would have been good. But I have a feeling you're going to get one little spike out of here, maybe up to this 291, get it retested, and maybe that's going to be it. Maybe it's going to take a week or 10 days to do it. But I have a feeling that there's just not enough short interest that has bled off the stock yet. And I just like the fact that the energy down and the energy back up was still fairly decent, about the same. I want to see a pullback on heavier volume and then a pop back up on lighter volume to really tell me that it's truly over on this. This one's as much a cult stock now as Apple is, and you kind of have to keep a close eye on it. Let's see if there was anything else out here. CLH. Clean Harbors, this down on, I guess, about the same volume. Probably going to be a little bit more than the August 1st low of 460,000 shares. We got 410 already. 56.83. It hadn't pierced that low, but my guess is we're at least got into that today a little bit. But Clean Harbors' next gap, or next level down would be about $52. This thing looks like it's kind of had enough energy out of it already. See if there's anything else. ISIS. Well, I think these guys need to change their stock symbol. ISIS Pharmaceuticals. They're going to, they're doing bad. It may just be because of ISIS itself. But it's down on lighter volume out here. Not a whole lot happening. See what it has to say. Just the broad weakness in the biotech sector to begin with. So we'll keep an eye on it. Of stocks of interest, at least my interest, that we normally go through in the second hour of the show. Looking at Alcoa yesterday, made a pretty good indication that this thing is up against the July 23 high, $17.22. 31 million shares got into it with half that yesterday, but it's kind of hanging up here at these highs. Like I said, light volume coming and pushing up back up here, but looks like maybe Alcoa is fairly valued, as they like to say, when it's topped out instead of it's hit a top on Wall Street. No stocks hit a top. It's just become fairly valued. Quest Diagnostics, another one out here. This thing's been banging around the $64 level quite a few times. November 11th is the one I'm keying off of. $63.80, 2.2 million shares got into it 3 days ago with 1.6 million shares, and also been hanging out here with the about that same kind of volume out here, 1.2. Very light volume today, 372,000. So keep an eye on it. First Solar, this company stock keeps making highs and not quite getting back up to those highs on lighter volume. The key was the March 24th high, 74.84, 8.1 million shares. Tried to get back into it on June 30th with 4 million shares, a couple bucks light. Tried to, actually pierced it yesterday with 2.4 million shares and going sideways again. But, you got a high volume high out here at 74.84. My guess is you're going to see that thing tagged with light volume. And this is the pattern I like. I'll be looking at some of these solar stocks to short here, maybe after options expiration in 2 weeks, or maybe even before then. This may break. Cheap energy prices are no friend to the solar stock. Golar Linhas Areas Intelligency, it's an airline. I don't know how it's, I think it's Greek, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Anyway, a lot of those airlines looking fairly weak out here. This one's making another attempt at a top against the May 2nd high, $6.94, 3.7 million shares into it with 2.7 million shares. And pretty much everything that we were looking for out here. Light volume today, going nowhere though. So, but most of those airline stocks in the United States have been weak as of late. Hanes Brands, certainly like those new T-shirts without the tags. Those tags have always been irritating. But even this one looks like it's up against that spike from July 24th at 106.62. Had 1.6 million shares. Last 2 days, 993,000 shares. And today, 468,000 shares as we go. Looks like it might even close above that, but you want to watch it closely. Iron Mountain, this is the stock, the company that destroys and stores documents. This one looks rather interesting. We've been talking about this, I think, for a few days out here, mostly because it's such a ludicrous proposition. June 26th, this thing had 15 million shares at $36. Been trying to get through that $36 level for a while out here, and went through it yesterday, even higher with 1.4 million shares. So everything's good. Okay, so everything else is cool. And what else do we have? So, Gardner IT, another big company out here in the technology space. This one's another one out here doing yes, May 2nd. May 2nd, yeah. May 2nd, $75.61, 0.97 million shares, so 970,000 shares. Got into it yesterday, got into it again today with 380,000 shares. Another one of these that the volume's kind of weak. I suspect this one's going to probably crack and come back down to that $70 level. Phillips 66. I liked that little ball down there in NASCAR Turn 4 of Daytona when I was racing down there. It was always nice to see the big yellow-orange ball down there. Too bad that they took that down. I think that's part of being NASCAR. Without it, it just seemed like everything's been downhill since. Of course, we raced motorcycles there, and a lot more room for motorcycles than 3 and 4 cars abreast. But in a motorcycle, it's awful darn hard to be on those high banks unless you're all in line, because as soon as you step out of line, you lose the draft. And probably about, for a motorcycle, it's about 10, 15 mile an hour. You get about 10 motorcycles lined up going 160, 170 miles an hour. You pull out, and suddenly you're doing 15 miles an hour or less. But you get in that line, you can slingshot off that Turn 4. I digress. Phillips 66 PSX. This has been going up against the $87.05 high, 7.2 million shares, with September 3rd, 87.98. So, we've gone through it, almost a buck, 2.8 million shares to 7.2. Really interesting to see these big energy companies hanging up here with very light volume. Now, the energy up was not all that light, so maybe they do a lot more things with the declining energy price that will make them do better. I'll have to look at them a little closer. What else do we have going on here? To April 4th, $37.42 on Quanta Services, PWR. Got to be power. Let's get the profile on these guys here. And special contracting services to the electric power, oil, and gas industries in North America and internationally. The company Electric Power Infrastructure Services segment provides network solutions comprising design, data, upgrade, and repair and maintenance of electric power transmission systems. So they are Mr. Electricity. They probably like Mr. Tesla, too, as I do. But the April 4th high, 37.42, 3.8 million shares. So we went above it 3 days ago. We have pulled back in it. One of the things you do have is lighter energy from the August 6th low up here. So the best you could hope for would be a trading range. The worst is that it breaks through 32.86 and heads lower. Now, this is a stock that I thought would be very interesting today, especially when we look at things like the bonds and maybe higher interest rates coming our way. Bankrate.com, I think, is just all they do is offer bank rates on their website, if I'm not mistaken. See, publish, aggregates, and distributes personal finance content on the internet. Company distributes its content and rate information throughout the online network consisting of Bankrate.com, its flagship website that aggregates rate information on approximately 300 financial products, which is it. Now, if you had a low interest rate forever, maybe this is one to be looking at if you are wanting to go long. But certainly the volume says that maybe it thinks we've hit a lower interest rate, and people are going to be interested in shopping to get the continued low interest rate as they head back up. But very nice. Hit $3.20 this morning, but about 1/4, 1/5 of the volume so far from the August 8th low. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. Let's see what else we have out here. Retail, spiders. This is one that really had me interested. The November 29th of 2013 high, 88.67, 5.6 million shares tried to get into it on July 3rd with 1 million shares, and it kind of got tanked. And the question is just, can it hold above that 88.67? It looks like we're going to get a close of probably in the 89s today. And it looks like it's going to hold up there, but the energy pretty horrifically bad as we go back up. And, you know, the last couple of moves, not that bad. But, again, like I said, with looking at the gap, which I think they're almost always in mall stores, and a great deal of these other stores, to me, this retail ETF looks like it may be one of the low-hanging fastballs out here that you could get some real wood on. And we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm going to look at a few of the other stocks that had caught my eye over the last couple of days. Go out here and look at a few other ones. Wanted to see how some of these others had done. We've been talking about Advanced Auto Parts. I keep getting, I do my own wrenching, which means I work on my own car, for those people that don't know what wrenching means. And I like working on my own car. I like changing my own oil. Ever since some McDonald's reject changed my oil and left the drain plug out, and I had to get a new motor in one of my vehicles. Pretty much the last 20 years, I've decided that it takes 10 minutes. I'll just do it myself and be done with it, not have to hang around any of those folks that might do something as bad as leave my oil plug out or not tighten up my oil filter or any of the other bad things they do. But anyway, Advanced Auto Parts. Oh, I've got a great coupon over there for half-priced oil for synthetic oil, too, sitting over here on my printer. But as I said, the Advanced Auto Parts store had been going up against this 136 high, 136.12, actually, June 30th. Really didn't get that kind of 1.4 million shares that you would like to see. Best it got was 1 million shares. Kind of started to pull back. Now, what's so interesting to me is that because I am a customer of most of these folks and buy my own filters and light bulbs and replacement headlights and everything, they send me a lot of emails, and I get to see them. And, of course, Advanced always has these deals where it's like 40 and 50% off. You know, it's normally the last couple of days of the month, which makes me think they're trying to cram business and make this thing look good. So I'm going to keep a very close eye on these guys. Now, the energy was up and the numbers were up. They had a nice little gap up on the 14th here of August. And that probably would act as support. But you might have close to a $20 range in this thing if it does fail. And then probably it will take a while to bleed back down. But these things have been running for a long time. And to my eye, looks like it may be making a nice kind of poly trend top. And as we look at the poly trend tops, that's a Barber thing. You can go check out his website, but he used to have one anyway. But he had a poly trend top, and basically you could put a contact lens on the top of a lot of these big runners. And I think maybe we're to the apex of that right now in auto parts. We'll be back in just a minute.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Tom O'Brien, founder and CEO of TFNN, professional trader and educator. Also a special guest on CNBC, analyzing the commodity markets. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And it's, looking at ads, probably a good way to get an idea when maybe markets are soft or a little bit soft. I remember, I think it was on Tuesday, was it this week or last week, we talked, I fired a message off in the den when Tom O'Brien was on the air, and he said, oh, you picked it up. Blue Airlines was having a sale. What is it? Light Blue Airlines? Blue? Anyway, I guess they go up to Boston a lot. I don't have a lot of call to go up to the eastern part. Yeah, JetBlue, excuse me. And it's kind of interesting that we see airlines like that starting to run errands. Now, one, probably not a big deal, but I did see, I've got RSS feeds for, I don't know, I've got probably 60 or 70 different RSS feeds. So I get the headline for just about everything in different sectors. One of them is I do get on one that's I've talked about before, which is slickdeals.net. And I saw on theirs for, I can't even say it today. I'm probably having an aneurysm, I think. But the Hawaiian Airlines, excuse me. Maybe I couldn't. I was thinking Aloha Airlines. Maybe it is Aloha Airlines. I'll have to go back and look. But saw that. And the second one in a week, you starting to scratch your heads. So might keep a close eye on those airlines. I know they were a little weaker before, but maybe they have hit issue where they can't continue raising prices. People are so mad that all the flights are getting diverted when they can't pull their seats back a little. And I saw another thing that said another 1.5 inches of the leg room was going away on one airline. Maybe it's just becoming so miserable people are quit flying, or maybe it's become so expensive that they quit flying, or maybe the market or economy is pulling back. But going to be looking at those and looking at some of the stocks in the hotel industry and over the next couple of weeks. Normally, you start getting these ads. It's a precursor. It's not short it the next day or sell it if you are long. But kind of very interesting to keep an eye on some of those. Wanted to keep an eye on Barnes & Noble. This is another one that looks kind of sweet out here. Surprised they're still in business. This has pulled back into the trading range. No big surprise out here. Had the June 26th high at 23.56, 3.5 million shares, and of course got into it with 2.2 million shares. So normally you're going to come right back into that trading range. Some of the other things that you want to be looking at out here are some pretty wicked trading in things like Burger King. We all know that the price of meat's been going up. And with all the problems with Argentina, the question is whether or not anybody's going to give him any cash for that Argentina beef. I know Burger King and McDonald's both big on that. But maybe Burger King's out here has had its day in the sun, too. Now, we talked about this one 2 days ago when on August 25th, it hit 33.97 with 21 million shares. Of course, today, or not today, September 3rd, got into that with 1/4 or 1/5 of that with 4 million shares. So pretty much a very light volume top in Burger King. My guess is this thing's probably headed back down to 29.50, which is the bottom test of that gap up. And support's probably going to be in here for a while, but a few of these stocks have me scratching my head. Anyway, we'll be back at the 4 o'clock hour with Tom O'Brien, probably 20 after. We've got a ton of stuff this week to talk about in technology. I don't know if we'll get it all in, but we'll try. For my show listeners, you'll see me on Monday, same bat channel, same bat time. See you then.
You've heard Basil Chapman on the air as the host of the Tiger Technicians Hour, and now's your chance to spend a full day learning his trading methodology, the Chapman Wave. Basil has taught thousands of students his trading methods over the years, and on Friday, September 12th, he'll be hosting a one-day online Master Trader Series class. Included is a month of his daily newsletter, The Opening Call, a $128 value. Basil will cover a variety of topics and techniques that he uses when looking at key charting patterns that repeat consistently in the market and that you can add to your trading methodology. You have access to the full 8-hour archive for a period of 30 days, as well as availability to ask questions of Basil in the month following the course as you practice what he teaches in this full-day Master Trader class. For all the details, visit TFNN.com and sign up for Basil Chapman's Master Trader class on Friday, September 12th. Reserve your seat today.
You're watching Tiger TV.